Hello and welcome to the South Paris Arena. It's day 8 of Goalball at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. It's all or nothing with medals up for grabs for two countries. It's Brazil, the People's Republic of China in both bronze medal matches. I'm delighted to welcome you along to Goalball, a sport unique to the Paralympic Games. It's one of two sports that doesn't have an Olympic equivalent. It's a high-tempo game, very physical and highly entertaining. Goalball is designed for athletes with a vision impairment. All the players are required to wear patches and blackout eye masks to ensure a level playing field across the competition. Teams consist of 6 players, with 3 members playing at any one time. Teams are allowed substitutions throughout the match, 4 in total. Simple aim of Goalball is to try and throw a ball past your opponent and into the back of the net. It sounds simple, but a lot of hard work goes into the game of Goalball. Brazil, People's Republic of China in the bronze medal game. The beauty of Goalball is that players use a variety of different techniques to release the ball, including the 180 degrees turn, full rotation, and even some players throw the ball between their legs. There's no right way or wrong way in Goalball. As long as it ends up in the back of the net, you can get creative, mix it up. The ball itself is a similar size to a basketball. It has 2 bells inside with 8 holes around the ball, so players can pick up the noise of those 2 bells inside. It weighs 1.25 kilograms, which is similar to a standard bag of sugar that you'll find in the supermarket or in the shelves at home. It's a serious workout for the players.
It's incredible just how physically taxing this sport is, and it can really hurt if you get a 1.25 kilogram ball into your torso.
A meeting between the current Paralympic gold and silver medalists. Brazil beat People's Republic of China in the gold medal match in Tokyo. It's a sport that requires great physical and mental strength, as players can use any part of their body to block the ball. Communication is also really crucial between the players on the court and the coaching staff in the team bench area. The court is separated into 3 sections. Either side of the centre line is the neutral area, and the areas in front of the goals are the team areas. Players can use the frame of the goal to position themselves on the court, whilst the court markings are also tactile, so players can navigate their way around the court.
Looking forward to seeing Brazil's shot selection today. They're a side that plays with a lot of flair. Let's see the famous Brazilian between the legs throw, very much a trademark of Brazilian Goalball. Makes them very exciting to watch.
Players going through their warm-ups. People's Republic of China. Yang Mingyuan, 26 goals. Top scorer here in Paris.
Looking forward to seeing Yang Mingyuan. He looks slightly subdued in the semi-final, and interesting to see if he's back on scoring form now.
The route to the bronze medal match. Tough game against Japan.
really was. They came into that semi-final with a brilliant run of form, but just didn't come together for them, conceded lots of penalties. And Yang Mingyuan was pretty well neutralised by the Japanese side.
The current Paralympic gold medalists include Raymond Moreno, 12 goals so far here in Paris, to go alongside his 25 he scored in Tokyo.
He really is an icon of Brazilian parasport, and great thing for Brazil, they've got so many attacking options. Moreno, Dantas, Marquez, Souza, all capable of scoring goals on the day.
42 goals scored for Brazil. They know how to find the back of the net.
They certainly do, and sometimes it's been defensive indiscipline that's been their issue, conceding penalties, but interesting to see quite how accurate they are on court today.
It's a great atmosphere inside the South Paris arena. But goalball is unique in so many ways, but in particular when the game starts, hush will descend across the venue.
It's a remarkable sport to watch. You have these moments of high atmosphere, lots of noise, and then the ball's in play, it's absolutely silent. It really adds to the tension, especially in medal matches like this one.
It's important in goalball that the ball bounces twice when you throw the ball, once inside your team area, the two zones right in front of the goal, and once in the neutral area, either side of the centre line. Potentially see some quick throws today as well. Players can reach up to speeds of 38 miles an hour. It's a rapid sport.
It really is fantastic to watch, and levels of physical exertion these players go through. Not just hurling the ball at rapid pace, but blocking those same quick balls, throwing themselves around court.
Our referees from Jordan and Finland. The voices of the referees will be heard around the venue, and their calls are really crucial for the players on the court, the coaching staff, the spectators in the crowd, and for you at home. Starting three, People's Republic of China. Also includes Yu Doi, 8 goals so far here in Paris.
No surprises there, that's been the same starting three that they've been relying on throughout the tournament. Very much consistent side, don't like to make lots of changes.
Head coach for People's Republic of China, Yin Xiang, coached the team to gold at the 2022 Asian Para Games. Starting three for Brazil, Moreno, Souza, Ernesto. Lots of goals in that starting three.
Yeah, not just in the starting three, but on the bench as well. Dantas on the bench, capable of firing them in as well, so lots of attacking options for Brazil.
Jonatas Castro, head coach for Brazil. Been in charge since 2022. Guided the team to gold at the IPSA World Championships against People's Republic of China. The referees checking the eye shades of all the players before the start of the match. This is a process the referees will do before the start of the game and the start of the second half. All the players wearing blackout eye shades. A meeting between the current Paralympic gold and silver medalists, but this time it's for bronze here in Paris. And we're underway. quick game, Goalball. You only have 10 seconds to return the ball, and both of these teams like to play at a high tempo at times. Raymond Moreno, what a star for Brazil. 12 goals here in Paris to go alongside his 25 that he scored in Tokyo. 36 goals at the IPSA World Championships. It's fair to say he knows how to find the back of the net, Raymond Moreno. A lot of depth in this Brazil team. Yang Mingyuan, top of the scoring charts inside of the competition. It's a fascinating matchup between the likes of Moreno and Yang Mingyuan.
I think so much will depend on whether Yang Mingyuan is on form today. China looks so much weaker in the semi-final. The scoring arm wasn't working quite as it should.
Players won't just lie flat on the court. They'll try and arc their bodies to almost create a ramp to steer the ball over the top of the crossbar. And they'll work in partnerships. 3 players have to cover a 9-meter wide goal. Centre player so important in goalball, often, sometimes a little bit underappreciated.
Interesting, China going with the dummy there. Player on the opposite wing to the thrower, creating the imitation of movement. Really clever play.
Yu Doi competing in his first Paralympic Games. Lots of fizz behind that throw from Yu Doi. 8 goals so far here in Paris. It was nearly a 9th.
Some potent looking throws so far, but both sides defensively holding firm. The hallmarks of close and even encounter, as you'd expect from these very 2 high-quality sides.
Interestingly, both of these teams have conceded the exact same amount of goals, 26 in total. 79 goals scored between them. Nine goals shared in the World Championships final. And so close to the first one from Moreno.
Closest we've come to a goal. I think the China player just about had it covered, but early threat for China and confidence boost for Brazil early on in this first half.
Disappointment for Brazil, losing in the semi-final. Moreno, as mentioned before, that a champion has made as much from his defeats as his victories. It may not be the gold medal, but certainly a bronze would be a big achievement for Brazil to go alongside the bronze that they secured at their home Paralympics in Rio.
Side of Brazil's quality will not want to miss out on the podium places. They have very high expectations for themselves.
So it's 2 halves of 12 minutes in goalball. The clock will stop every time the ball is blocked out. Timeouts, substitutions. 24 minutes seems a very short time for a game of goalball, but in reality it lasts nearly about an hour and then some. Quick reply. That one goes wide on that occasion. Castro, head coach for Brazil. Wait goes on for our first goal.
You saw there Emerson Ernesto put up his hand. He knew that his eye shades had been dislodged by that throw. And it shows the force of these throws that are capable of displacing these players' eye shades. And he's not allowed to touch his eye shades. He had to put up his hand to get the referee's attention.
Moreno switching sides, going towards Yu Doi. Players will tiptoe their way across the team area. They don't have to stick in the position they start the match in. They can move right, left, go down the centre, try and mix things up. It's a limited space, the team area, so players will try and arc their runs, turn on the spot, just like Yang Mingyuan there, trying to generate some power. And that one skims the outside of the post. He's going for that side, coming close.
The two best chances of this first half, both from Lehmann Moreno. You can tell his accuracy is getting better and better as the match progresses.
Targeting that right pocket. Working in tandem, the centre player and the wing players. The centre player is so important in goalball. They might not necessarily throw the ball as much as the wing players, but they are the ones that will coordinate the defence and try and close those pockets between the centre and the wing players.
Often the noisy players as well. You hear them making a lot of noise on court.
We've had all sorts during the Paralympics. You can make as much noise as you can before the ball is thrown. Some players pat the floor, they sing. We've had it all here in Paris.
Moreno throwing from centre of court there, just trying a new angle, new position.
12th block for Ernesto, going through some good defensive work in the centre. 6 goals, though, here in Paris, which sometimes is a little bit unusual for a centre player to get involved so much in the attacking part of the game. But it's just another strength of Brazil.
It's what makes Brazil so hard to play against. 3 players capable of scoring goals. It means the ball could come from any angle, from any player. Makes them very hard to beat.
79 goals between the two teams. Yet to get the first, though, in our bronze medal match. Can Souza break the deadlock? Known as Palazinho. 26 goals in Tokyo, 7 goals so far here in Paris. And once again, going towards Yang Mingyuan. And that's the first goal. Brazil. It's taken just over 6 minutes, but Brazil finally get the breakthrough.
And it's Lehmann Moreno. He looked like the most dangerous player in the first half. And he got just enough bounce on the ball that China found it hard to deal with. Despite China player sticking out a leg, the bounce in the ball, saw it go into the back of the net. Great goal from Brazil.
Moreno's 13th goal here in Paris. They've been really knocking on the door, Brazil, so far. They've come close on a couple of occasions and finally make the breakthrough. Using the frame of the goal to position himself on the court. Players can use the frame of the goal, and the markings on the court are slightly raised, so players can navigate their way around. Moreno really starting to click into gear now.
Both of these sides throwing from quite a deep position on court. They're able to advance right up to the high ball line, but not using that option so far.
As long as the ball bounces twice, once in the team area, those two zones in front of the goal, and the neutral areas either side of the centre line. Testing effort and dealt with eventually by Yang Yuan.
Moreno once again, he's been the source of most of the chances in this first half.
Desperate to try and claim the bronze medal for his country. Said he was here for the gold, but will have to settle for the bronze. Still a way to go, though, in this bronze medal game. Yeah, the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Game just being turned up a notch. Tester for Yu Doi.
You might see Dantas coming onto court soon. Seems not having quite the desired impacts on the near side. Good opportunity to change things up a bit.
The unique thing about goalball is you can't just be solely an attacking player. You have to have the defensive parts of your game as well. It's an all-rounded sport, really, isn't it?
It is, and it makes so impressive, these athletes. The way they can contort the ball, but also put their bodies on the line to block.
He's going to throw in multiple different directions, either cross-court, down the centre. Try and switch it up and confuse their opponents. Really targeting that right post of the China goal. It almost feels like a matter of time before the ball ends up in that side of the goal. Can Moreno do it this time? That's wide.
China starting to throw from slightly higher up court now, but haven't really troubled the Brazilian trio.
Good defensive work from Ernesto. Flew across the court. The core strength that you have to have in goalball is incredible. You don't just lie flat, you have to sort of arc your body. Good real upper body strength as well.
And once again, Ernesto's put himself so much in the thick of it, his eye shades have come loose. It's phenomenal, the force behind these throws.
It's not a contact sport, a body-to-body contact sport as such, but when the ball comes at you at 1.25 kilograms, you really feel it. Court just getting a mop. Court needs to be as dry as possible so the players can throw the ball safely.
Another sign of the physical exertion. These players' hands get extremely sweaty and in turn, court can become quite slippery.
Just the one goal in this first half. Brazil scoring their 43rd goal as a team. Highly entertaining to watch. Bouncing effort. It just land in that neutral area, and also it's going to be a ball over, so the ball crosses the centre line after you've made that defensive block. goes back to the team that threw the ball. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Good teamwork between Ernesto and Moreno.
Brazil, a team that have played together for many, many years. Largely unchanged their squads between tournaments. Means they have a really good understanding of one another on court. Really good positional awareness.
Few bouncing efforts in the last 30 seconds or so. Like China just trying to switch things up. Moreno offering something a little bit different. Cross court. Three-time world champion Leymon Moreno. Such a star of this side.
Examples of both sides throwing from slightly different areas of court, just trying to add an element of surprise. If you're a wing player, it can be add an element of surprise to throw from centre of court, or throw from the opposing wing.
And Min Yuen, 26 goals so far here in Paris. He is the top scorer. Yet to find the back of the net, though, in this bronze medal game, which will delight the coaches of Brazil.
They don't look particularly delighted, but I'm sure they're delighted inside. Not coaches that show their emotions easily, but I'm sure if they hang on, they'll be delighted.
We get very excited about goals in goalball, but coaches often really go into a lot of detail about the defensive part of the game, and if they can go into the break without conceding, that'll be a real positive. Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball. Game management into the final few seconds. A timeout called by China. It's our first of the half, which is a bit of a surprise. I mean, teams have to use at least one of their timeouts, otherwise they lose it. They can't carry over a timeout. They get 4 in total. 45 seconds for the teams to get their message across.
I suspect they've called the timeout. 9 seconds left on the clock. There's a shot clock of 10 seconds in goalball, so see wearing those eye shades, China players can't see the game clock, so I'm sure the coach will be telling them exactly how long is remaining. Helps them plan this final throw.
Coaches can't talk to the players whilst the game is live. So those timeouts are really crucial. Set up a game plan for this final throw for China. The first half. Yu Doi take responsibility. It's a good effort, and it just goes over. And they are pumped, the Brazilians. Almost celebrated it as hard as the goal they scored.
And here we take another look at that. Great defensive work from Ernesto. Just managed to get a flailing foot on it. Send the ball over the crossbar.
Confirmation that it is half-time. Just the one goal. It's been an enthralling first half.
Really enjoyed that one. Two of the highest scoring sides in the tournament, but they've really cancelled each other out. In the end, I think it's Leymon Moreno that's made a difference on the wing for Brazil.
Standing first half from Brazil's star man. Brazil 1, People's Republic of China 0 at half-time. It's all or nothing in the bronze medal game.
Scary thing for China. Brazil still have Dantas on the bench. We know he's capable of scoring lots of goals.
Now it's time to take a look first half's highlights.
Allez, dans 90 secondes, le début de la deuxième période de ce match pour la médaille de bronze.
We are just under 90 seconds to the start of the second half.
Quiet, please. Center.
The current Paralympic gold and silver medalists. It's a hard-fought match. Both teams defensively very solid. Brazil knocked on the door a little bit more. Came close on a couple of occasions. This was the breakthrough. Moreno, who else?
So much bounce on these balls, so hard to deal with.
And great defensive work as well. Lots of talk about Moreno and Sousa and, of course, Dantas in terms of how well he's done. But Ernesto has been excellent, and that was a superb save. Just look at what it meant to him as well.
Such a big boost psychologically, right on the stroke of half-time. Changing ends after a big block like that.
Story of the match in the statistics. 7 more blocks, Brazil. China really testing Brazil, making them work for everything. But the most important statistic right at the top. 1 goal to Brazil. Crowd get the message, they need to be quiet whilst the ball is in play. Brilliant support inside the South Paris arena throughout the Paralympic Games.
This is the kind of silent Mexican wave they've been doing with the crowds. Really fun way of getting the message across. Need to be silent when the ball's in play.
Second half between China, my left, Brazil, my right. Halftime score, China 0, Brazil 1. China will start with the ball. Quiet, please. Center. Play.
Brazil against People's Republic of China, second half of this bronze medal game here at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games.
No changes at half-time. China, not a side that likes to make a lot of changes. Usually like to stick with their starting 3.
Two teams have switched ends of the court, which offers up different angles and opportunities for the players, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. Some players favour being at one side of the court, and also for superstitious reasons as well. Using the frame of the goal to position themselves on the court, the players, and also the court markings are slightly raised. Just helps the players navigate their way around, and particularly around that team area. Those 4 lines in front of the goal, to the right, to the left, and down the centre. Communication really important. That pass seems so simple, but that is hours of practice and getting to know your teammates and just a lot of trust.
Interesting to see a player using centre almost as a reference point.
These two teams met in the gold medal match in Tokyo and at the IPSA World Championships. I'm sure they'd have loved to have been playing in the gold medal match, but it's still an opportunity to claim a Paralympic medal, which will mean a lot to all these players out on the court. And that one squeezes through. Yang Mingyuan It took over 6 minutes in the first half, under 90 seconds in the second.
I think Yang Mingwan might be slightly disappointed with that one. Name of the game, defending and goal ball. Get your body behind the ball as much as you can. It was a good throw from Sousa, but slipped under the body of Yang Mingwan. And a player of his quality might be slightly disappointed with that.
Sousa with his 8th goal here in Paris. Moreno in the first, Sousa in the second. It's 2-0 to Brazil. And it's now 3.
And Brazil are turning it on now. Lehmann Moreno once again. Brazil have started the second half with a real flourish, successfully finding the gap between the two China players. The momentum so important in goalball, and momentum very much with Brazil at the moment.
Like a flash, it is 3-0. Moreno, he was revving it up in the first, and he's put his foot down. And no surprises, a timeout called by China. 2 goals in the space of roughly 10 seconds have put Brazil in control of this bronze medal game. Moreno and Sousa with the goals in the second half. Brazil, brilliant.
No surprise, China calling the timeout. Feels like they're somewhat on the back foot. Do have a bit less in terms of depth on the bench to call on. One of the big differences between these two sides, the strength and the experience on the Brazil bench. And China will be thinking what they need to do to change things up and try and alter the trajectory of this match.
Moreno is now the current top scorer for Brazil. 14 goals here in Paris. "45 goals scored for Brazil. Attacking powerhouse. They really are fantastic, Brazil, when they really get going. Udoyi just changing things up. Players don't have to stay in their positions. Coaching staff adamant. Castro was certain that was a long ball penalty. Ball has to bounce twice, once inside the team area, once inside the neutral area. They may be leading 3-0, but they want a 4th.
And as China strive to close the gap, they're increasingly using dummy manoeuvres, using all the tricks in the book.
That wasn't blocked, that was booted away by Ernesto with purpose. Confidence really is high for this Brazil team. Working in partnerships, the centre and the wing players, communication really crucial in goalball. And Ernesto offering something different compared to a lot of centre players in the game. He will chip in with the attacking side. And has 6 goals so far here in Paris. Compare that to Yu Jingjuan, the centre for China, who's only thrown the ball once.
Looking so strong in defence, and you just look at the difference in body language between these two sides. China's shoulders starting to slump a bit, and Brazil seems to get more pumped with every block.
You'd have thought they'd scored. Sousa, quiet in the first, very effective in the second half, and that was good reactions from Nguyen. Number 3, players won't just be static once they've made the first block, they will try and get back to the goal as quickly as possible. The first thought, try and get back to the goal line. Some noise coming from the crowd. To be as quiet as possible. China coaching staff don't seem too flustered at the moment. Still a long way to go in this second half. Moreno. The spin, beautiful from Moreno. That is quite extraordinary.
Pace is such a valuable commodity in goalball, and the slightly slower spinning ball from Lehmann Moreno, it's a lot harder to detect, and it really confounded the Chinese players. Oh, that was Shane Warne type spin from Lehmann Moreno. Ball of the century on the goalball court. That was incredible.
Absolutely amazing from Lehmann Moreno. And it's a great reply from China. They really needed that. Momentum was really starting to build for Brazil, and that just pegs them back a little.
Good throw from Yang Mingwan. Brazilian coaching staff appealing for the long ball penalty, but it was just the right side of the line. Perhaps a bit of a confidence builder for China and get back in this bronze medal match.
27 goals now, the top scorer on the men's side of the competition. The first half was very compact. Both teams struggled to really break down. Brazil were knocking on the door, and they burst through it at the start of the second half with 2 goals in 10 seconds. The second half has been scintillating.
It really has, that flurry of early Brazil goals, but that most recent goal from Lehmann Moreno, never seen a ball spin like that on a goalball court. It's something he's been working on in a practice court, because that was really something else.
How do you defend against that? Nice throw and a good save from Souza.
Really firm block. It's all about keeping your legs together and creating a firm barrier. Blocks it out really well.
And that one squeezes through. Souza with his second. Brazil have 5.
Good example of slightly less proficient defence from China. All off the chest of the Chinese centre and into the back of the net. But great throw from Souza. Love the way he winds up his arm, generates pace on the ball. And the ricochet was unfortunate for China.
Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball. It's a quick game. The tempo of this match, certainly in the second half, has ramped up another level. The current gold and silver Paralympic medalists. Brazil beat China in Tokyo. And they are beating them again here in the bronze medal match. The ball just getting a wipe down. It has to be as clean as possible to help the players grip the ball, and also when they're blocking the ball.
The ball's so important to this sport. Players have to be able to hear the bell inside the ball, so it can't be interfered with and it can't be wet. So referees keep a really close eye on it. Wonderful manoeuvre from China, using all 3 players on court to launch the manoeuvre. Dummy on the wing and centre player serving as a bit of a reference point for the other wing.
Working in tandem, Ernesto and Moreno. They'll work in partnerships in terms of defence. Centre player will often be the one to gather the ball as well after the initial block. Try to stop that ball over. Moreno clings on, and the crowd eager to applaud that move. Going for it again, Moreno. This time the trick doesn't come off. Nicely placed. Beautiful from Yu Doi. He gets his first goal of the game.
Yu Doi throwing from a different area of court. He moves towards the centre. Element of surprise, and he really slammed the ball into the court, generating lots of bounce. And when players are defending flat on court, that bounce can be a really effective weapon.
31 goals at the IPSA World Championships for Yu Doi. He gets his 9th goal here in Paris. Competing at the Paralympics for the very first time. Great experience for the 26-year-old. Block and good reactions from Ernesto. All the players on the court just seem to be fizzing with excitement. Despite that 3-goal margin, China, they'll still believe they can get back into this game. As well in the end, Yu Doi, and it's just to slam the ball into the court. And that one is cleared over the top of the crossbar. He's pumped, Ernesto.
Bounce from Yu Doi starting to pose a bit more of a threat. Brazil finding it increasingly hard to deal with.
Great core strength from Ernesto to lift his legs up into the air and clear it over the top of the crossbar. It's a synthetic resilient flooring, so it has a little bit of give, the court, but it's still a hard surface. Players will wear protective sort of padding on their knees and elbows. And they'll throw their bodies at the ball to try and block it. Any means necessary, certainly at this stage of the game. No changes for Brazil so far in the match. Got some great options on the team bench.
They certainly do. Dantas, until a few minutes ago, he was Brazil's top scorer in this tournament. And it feels like China's starting to interpret Brazil's plays more effectively. Dantas could provide a good option, bit of variation.
13 goals so far at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games for Dantas. And that's off the post, and China, you just feel momentum is just starting to change a little bit. And the coach knows it.
You really can. I think that's why Brazil might be about to make a change very shortly. The throw, and it's a matter of inches in it. Really small margins in goalball, especially in these big knockout matches.
Great bouncing effort. Ming Yuan has to bounce twice on the court, once in the team area, those two zones right in front of the goal, and once in the neutral area, the sections either side of the centre line. The players feeling it on the team bench area. Yeah, living the game with the players. They're out on the court. Moreno, he's going for it again.
Both of these teams play in fairly traditional, static ways. We don't see lots of interplay between the different wings like you do with some teams.
Souza. Close. Off the post. Brazil nearly add a sick. Good save from Doi.
Good save, and Souza, who looked relatively quiet in the first half, he's been much a better player in the second.
That right pocket once again. Space there for Moreno. Good work from Emerson Ernesto trying to stop the ball over. Ball crossed over the centre line. It has gone back to China. Checking the eye shades. Yang Mingyuan, number 3. People's Republic of China. Players can't touch their eye shades whilst the game is live, so they have to wait for permission from the referee.
No penalties in this match so far. Very interesting with the amount riding on this match. Sometimes you see a bit of nerves creep in.
Mingyuan, 6 long ball penalties during the Paralympic Games. Moreno 4, but they've been very disciplined during the bronze medal game. Getting close again. Souza under pressure. Speed that these players generate in their throws. Quite something to behold. That one flicks up into the air and away. Pushing that long ball line.
There's another China play where all 3 players involved, the centre making noise on the surface of the court, and the other wing doing the dummy move. It's not just the thrower that's responsible for generating the goals.
Brazil have only conceded 28 goals so far here in Paris. Only kept 1 clean sheet during their games here at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Great bounce from Ernesto. Really changes things up for Brazil. China need to find something special in this final 2 minutes of the game, and a timeout necessary.
I'm sure the Brazil coach will be saying, just keep your discipline, keep up that accuracy that's seen Brazil not concede any penalties so far. It might be a reminder them to take a little bit longer with the ball, allow 10 seconds to get your throw away, so you might start to see Brazil running down the clock a little bit.
Game management really important. Coaches can't talk to the players whilst the game is live, so these 45 seconds that you get during timeouts really crucial. Coaches have to pick their words really carefully. Communication is such an important aspect of the game. Souza just carefully walking around the team area, waiting to set the throw. He uses the frame of the goal to position himself on the court. That's a third for China. And suddenly, maybe a little bit of nerves creeping in for Brazil. They've been really going at that right side of the Brazilian goal.
Yu Dai, again, his bounce has really caused a problem for Brazil in this second half. Perhaps an element of tiredness from Sousa. Not able to make the block. And a lot of, whatever happens in terms of the medals, a lot of positives for China to take, including this performance from Yu Dai.
His 10th goal here in Paris, competing at his first Paralympic Games. And that chat during the timeout, I'm sure Castro, the Brazilian head coach, want to try and call even another timeout now to regather his team. That wasn't in the script.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any substitutions from either side yet. At the end of the tournament, players particularly tired. Feels like a good opportunity to bring on some fresh legs.
Fantastic for Brazil, 13 goals so far. Excellent in the Paralympic Games. But Brazil know that if they can just keep blocking, the bronze medal will be theirs. Close again from Doi.
Doi throws from right at the back of the court, almost goes underneath the net.
Been two contrasting ends to this second half. Start of the second half, Brazil really clicked into gear and we're 3-0 up. Inside 90 seconds of the second half. And you thought at points that Brazil were just going to go off into the horizon, but China kept them at arm's length, but they need something special now, going into the final 40 seconds. Good teamwork in the end by Brazil. They work together, protect that ball at all costs.
Once that ball goes into the air, it can be really hard to detect. That explains the scramble as Brazil tried to locate the ball on the court.
23.4 seconds remain. Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball. So this really is all about game and time management. And no surprises, Moreno is trying to soak up as many seconds as possible. Timeout called by People's Republic of China. And at this stage, they really need a miracle.
And with just 12 seconds left on the clock, they will be meticulously planning throw by throw. It is really up against them. If Brazil block this next throw, they can afford to run down the clock. It means China won't be able to get the 2 goals they need to take this game to overtime.
Brazil are nearly there. A block now would seal it. It is blocked. And now Brazil can just soak up the seconds. And they are now bronze medal winners at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Just look what it means. The 3-time world champions, current Paralympic gold medalists. They've won the bronze here in Paris through an excellent team performance.
Brilliant performance from Brazil. They bounced back from their semi-final defeat. And they looked really strong on court. Moreno instrumental in the first half, Sousa in the second. And they didn't even need to call on Dantos on the bench. Really impressive win for Brazil.
Sousa said they were going to work harder to bring the bronze medal back to Brazil. They'll be on the podium. Special group of players have secured another Paralympic medal. Another bronze medal to go alongside the one they won in Rio in 2016. People's Republic of China finished 4th at these Paralympic Games. It's often a place in the overall standings that hurts for a lot of players, just so close, but still a very good tournament from China.
They'll be disappointed with 4th place after the brilliant performance of the group stages. Brazil just the stronger side today. Yang Mingwan not able to recreate his goal-scoring form from the previous matches.
Party time for Brazil. I'm sure they'll celebrate well. Moreno has won it all. And this one means a lot. Confirmation then, Brazil have won the bronze medal. It was a cracking game between Brazil and People's Republic of China.
Nous espérons que vous avez apprécié ce premier match. Le second de cette même session sera le match pour la médaille de bronze de la compétition femme opposant à nouveau la République populaire de Chine face au Brésil. Ça sera à 15h. Nous vous rappelons que vos tickets restent valables, alors restez, profitez de la compétition et merci de faire partie de ces Jeux paralympiques de Paris 2024.
We hope you have enjoyed the first game. Thank you.
Story of the game in the statistics.
2024 Paralympic Games. Audience, please
Brazil
stick around.
with more blocks, 5 more. They were really tested, certainly in that latter stages of the game. The all-important statistic right at the top. Brazil with 5 goals to China's 3.
China and Brazil at 3 p.m. Your tickets are
No penalties at all in the medal match. That really is phenomenal. Great accuracy, great concentration from both sides. Something for China to take away, despite the disappointing result from their perspective today.
Brazil, bronze medalists, inside of the competition.
Allez, les meilleurs moments de cette rencontre pour la médaille de bronze qu'on vient de vivre, c'est maintenant sur les écrans géants.
Please direct your attention to the video board for high.
highly entertaining match. And it's Brazil who win the bronze medal, the men's side of the competition. People's Republic of China finished fourth.
Le comité d'organisation de Paris 2024 tient à remercier tous les volontaires pour le temps et le dévouement qu'ils consacrent à la réussite de ces Jeux paralympiques. Vous les voyez sur l'écran géant, applaudissez-les bien fort s'il vous plaît.
The Paris 2024 organizing committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and dedication toward making the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games a success.
Profitez du service d'audio-description et de commentaires en direct. Scannez le QR code sur l'écran vidéo. Le service est disponible une fois que vous êtes connecté sur l'application officielle Paris 2024.
Make the most of our audio description and live commentary service. Scan the QR code on the video board and it's available once you log in to the official Paris 2024 app.
Et regardez, nous avons une invitée spéciale pour notre show lumineux. C'est notre Frige, elle est juste ici. On peut l'applaudir bien fort, notre mascotte Frige. Allez, on danse avec Frige. Allez, on y va. Tous ensemble. Et regardez, Frige fait même le DJ. Qu'est-ce qu'elle nous a fait un super show, la Frige. Merci, Frige, pour ce merveilleux show lumineux. Bravo, bravo, Frige. On peut l'applaudir tous bien fort. Merci, Frige.
Thank you, Freeze.
Et bravo, on peut les applaudir bien fort, nos performeuses.
Thank you, Poppers.
Allez, mesdames et messieurs, vous savez, dans quelques minutes maintenant, le match entre la République populaire de Chine et le Brésil, c'est la même affiche que la rencontre précédente, sauf que là, c'est le match féminin pour la médaille de bronze. Quelques informations sur les deux équipes avant le début de cette rencontre. Eh bien, la République populaire de Chine a pris la 5e place des derniers Jeux paralympiques, c'était à Tokyo. Les Chinoises qui sont également championnes des Jeux paralympiques d'Asie il y a 2 ans. Du côté des Brésiliennes, eh bien les Brésiliennes, elles ont terminé au pied du podium, 4e aux Jeux paralympiques de Tokyo, et elles restent également sur une médaille de bronze lors des championnats du monde 2018.
Very soon starting a women's bronze medal game here at South Paris Arena 6. People's Republic of China won France on quarterfinals 12-2, but yesterday they lost to Israel 1-2, so they are now playing in a bronze medal game. Brazil beat Japan 2-0 in quarterfinals, but yesterday they lost to Turkey 1-3. So, winner of this game will be bronze medalist in Paris 2024 Goalball Women's Tournament. Team's top scorers before today's game: People's Republic of China number 6 Wang Chunyan, 14 goals, and Brazil number 8 Jessica Vitorino, 6 goals. Exciting game starting very shortly. Enjoy.
Mesdames et messieurs, il est temps de faire place aux athlètes pour ce match pour la médaille de bronze du tournoi féminin. Merci d'accueillir les équipes de la République populaire de Chine et du Brésil.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to meet our athletes for the bronze medal match. Please welcome People's Republic of China and Brazil.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses de la République populaire de Chine.
Now it's time to meet the players from People's Republic of China.
Numéro 2.
Number 1, Chong Si-ling.
Numéro 2.
Number 2, Zhao Zhenhua.
Numéro 5.
Number 5, Su Mi-ho.
Numéro 6.
Number 6, Wang Chun-yen.
Numéro 7.
Number 7, Ge Beijing.
Numéro 9.
Number 9, Wang Chun-hua.
L'entraîneur de l'équipe.
Coach Chang Xiaopang.
L'entraîneur assistant.
Assistant coach Yang Chun-hong.
Et la responsable du staff.
Staff Fu Zuan.
Nous allons maintenant découvrir les joueuses de l'équipe du Brésil.
Now it's time to meet the players from Brazil.
Numéro 1.
Number 1, Giovanna Moura.
Numéro 2.
Number 2, Gabriele Brito.
Numéro 5.
Number 5, Monisa Lima.
Numéro 6.
Number 6, Katia Silva.
Numéro 7.
Number 7, Daniele Longhini.
Numéro 8.
Number 8, Jessica Vitorino.
L'entraîneur de l'équipe.
Coach Alessandro Tosim.
L'entraîneur assistant.
Assistant coach Luciana Müller.
Et la responsable du staff.
Staff Monica Freitas.
Les arbitres de cette rencontre sont
The referees for the match are Asi Mahmoud from Iraq and Sarah Cooper from Germany.
Et maintenant, pour partager l'esprit sportif international, la traditionnelle poignée de main entre les deux équipes.
And now in a show of international sportsmanship, both teams will exchange pre-game handshakes.
Dans son quartier du vieux Québec, les rues ont l'air d'avoir l'accent. Et l'embellie voisine avec les maisons grises du vieux temps. Mais l'hiver vient d'éclater le sang.
Les équipes vont maintenant s'échauffer. Nous vous rappelons que le silence est très important dans cette compétition et nous vous demandons de respecter la haute concentration dont les athlètes doivent faire preuve dans ce sport.
The teams will now warm up and we remind you that silence is highly important for this competition. Athletes require high concentration, therefore we expect everyone to act in a respectful manner during the competition.
Dans son quartier du vieux Québec, quand l'étoile devient nouvelle. Quand les enfants ont les pieds secs, on tourne le dos à l'hiver. C'est la fête du printemps, le grand retour du Saint-Laurent. On dirait que les gens sortent de la terre. Mais il n'est plus à moi, j'ai froid pour la première fois. Je n'ai plus ni sa chaleur, ni sa lumière.
It's the final day of the Paris 2024 goalball competition. And now it's time to turn our attention to the women's event and discover which side will be taking their place on the Paris Paralympic podium and who will be missing out on a medal and finishing in 4th position. Yes, we have a brilliant battle for bronze ahead of us as the People's Republic of China take on Brazil. Which side will be able to put the disappointment of the semi-finals behind them? Will it be China hoping to pick up their 4th medal in 5 consecutive Paralympics with a win today? Or Brazil looking to secure their first ever women's Paralympic goalball medal and improve on their 4th place finishes in Tokyo and Rio. So 2 of the most impressive teams in this women's event about to go head-to-head, and we've got quite a match ahead of us.
Certainly do. Brazil aiming to try and finish in that bronze position after 2 consecutive 4th-placed finishes at the Paralympics. China with a chance to try and get that bronze medal. Teams with stars in their sides, and they'll be hoping for a big impact from them.
Absolutely, and this is your first time experiencing the wonderful sport of goalball. We'll talk you through what you need to know as we go along, but aim of the game, get the ball back into the back of the net as many times as you can, while preventing your opponents from scoring. And the ball has bells inside. Players rely on being able to hear the sound of the ball. So that crowd, as noisy and as excited as they might be right now, they'll have to be absolutely silent when the ball's in play. And the players rely on the sound of the ball, the texture of the lines on courts. And it's phenomenal, the positional sense they possess, even whilst wearing those eye shades. And it's the eye shades that mean we have an even competition. There are the run-ins. China with very much the strongest run-in, winning all 3 of their group games. Brazil, slightly more checkered start, but they've since recovered. Very good win in the semi-finals to get them here, and here we have the Brazilian squad. Very impressive side, lots of attacking options in there.
And yeah, Longini, certainly one to keep tabs on. He has this unique throwing style, throwing the ball between her legs. Yet to score though, and she get her first goal in the bronze medal match.
This is how Brazil got here. They did lose to China when these 2 sides came up against each other in the pool stages. But they're back on top now, and difficult defeat in the semi-final, though they did play well. And there we have the China squad, and very much a squad focused on one key player.
Wang Chuanyang, number 6 for People's Republic of China, at 22 years of age, 14 goals here in Paris. At such a young age, to have that responsibility on your shoulders is highly impressive. Will she deliver again, as she did in the previous matchup between the 2 teams?
That is the big question, and here's how China got here. Impressive mercy rule win in the quarterfinals, winning by the maximum 10-goal margin. But in a close and tense semi-final, couldn't make it count against Israel. And that is why they're here in the bronze medal match. But Still lots to play for. Still silverware on the line. And there we have our officials from Iraq and Germany. They will be adjudicating on the legality of the throws and the main source of penalties in goalball, high ball and long ball. Ball has to bounce in both your area of the court and the neutral third. Otherwise you give away a penalty, and penalties in goalball one-on-one can be very costly indeed. Crowd in full voice, enjoying their moment before they'll have to fall silent so these fantastic players can hear the ball. And there we have starting three for China. Not much in the way of surprises there.
No, unchanged from their semi-finals. And Chen Yang in the starting three, as suspected. As we await the Brazilian starting three. In the semi-final, they started with Brito, Lima, Vitorino. Expect to see a similar lineup on court. Brito in the centre of court and two wings alongside her. And Brazil aside, lots of attacking options, lots of versatility, and some good options on the bench as well. Changed from their semi-final. Jessica Vitorino hasn't conceded a penalty so far. Paralympics, so discipline, really important part of the game. And try and avoid giving away penalties will really help your side.
China coach Zhang Shoupeng was assistant coach for Tokyo 2020. Now he's in the main role. He's got the chance to steer his side to a bronze medal. Will China recover from the disappointment of yesterday and their tournament in the best possible way? The Brazilian coach Alessandro Tosim, he coached the men's team to gold at the 2020 Games in Tokyo. Not able to get gold this time, but chance to get bronze for this women's side, a side that's never before secured a Paralympic goalball medal. So lots at stake for them. And we're shortly about to hear the 90-second hooter, which means the eye shades process will begin. And these eye shades, really important to ensuring a fair contest.
Absolutely, so they are blackout eye shades. Creates a level playing field across the competition. Players also have patches on their eyes, just for an extra bit of protection more than anything.
And these players aren't allowed to touch their own eye shades while the ball's in play, which is why the officials are supervising the process. That's Wang Chunyan applying her eye shade. She could be a really important player in this match. She scored 2 goals in the group stage when these sides came up against one another. Really pivotal to the victory there.
Centre player really important in goalball, and Brito solid in the centre for Brazil. She'll be communicating with her wing players, really trying to organise that defence, as well as also helping to set up the attacks. China have only conceded 11 goals, so it's going to take a lot to break through.
China only conceded 2 in their final 2 group games. Very strong defensively. Now as we count down to the opening throw, let's listen in as we hear the officials give the final instructions to the players and the crowd.
middle is between China on my left, Brazil on my right. I would like to remind everyone to switch off your mobile phone and keep it quiet while the ball is in play. Thank you. Brazil is start with the ball. Quiet, please. Center. Play.
Brazil against China in the bronze medal match. It was Brazil that knocked China out of the competition in Tokyo. China will be keen to make amends. And interesting seeing Anna Brito put out the ball herself there. Why did she do that?
Yeah, good awareness to try and avoid that 10-second penalty. Teams have 10 seconds to return the ball after you've made that initial defensive block. And it's not always sometimes about the throw, but the awareness of trying to concede a team penalty.
Some tense early exchanges. Both sides try and get the measure of one another. Wang Chunyan advancing up court. She's going to be really pivotal today if she's on goal-scoring form. China very hard to beat. Xiao Shenhua. Brito to Vitorino. Wang Chunyan with the straighter ball. Trading throws with Vitorino. It's closest we've come to a goal in this first half. Throw from Wang Chunyan. Well dealt with by Lima.
Wang Chunyan really pushing up that high ball. She uses the space inside the team area really well. Tries to get as high up as she can to that neutral area. But she has conceded 4 long ball penalties, so she has to be really careful.
Quite an aggressive throwing style and can be prolific in terms of scoring goals, but does leave you vulnerable to conceding penalties. As Alessandro Tosin watches on. He's had success, both men's and women's level for Brazil. Vitorino steadies herself on the post. Ball bounces off court, so it's ruled out of bounds and China will have possession. Brazil rescued the ball. They've got 10 seconds to get it back into play.
Interesting so far that Brazil are really attacking that left side. Wang Chunyan playing on the right for China. Top scorer for People's Republic of China. And it's interesting that Brazil might feel that Xiao Shenhua is the more problem.
And she's certainly a problem for Brazil. It's 1-0 to China. And that's a brilliant early throw from Xiao Shenhua.
Certainly is. Brilliant bounce, nice pace. Beautifully played through that right pocket. It's what they work so hard to do. Teams will really try and work through those gaps between the centre and the wing players. And also in the run-ups as well, just trying to move their body to try and manipulate the opposition. Really nice.
Lots of bounce, slightly slower ball from Vitorino. Wang Chunyan navigates around the Chinese centre and gets the throw away. Xiao Shenhua. Cross court, well dealt with. Vitorino gets her bearings on the goalpost and goes for the straighter ball. Lots of noise on court at the moment.
Yeah, lots of teams try different tactics.
Oh, well, there's a lot of noise in the crowd right now. It's 2-0 China. And a brilliant straighter ball. And Brazil look in disarray. The throw from Wang Chunyan.
Beautifully placed. That's what you try and perfect. Right in off the post. Pinpoint precision. Brilliant from China.
China clearly bounced back from that semi-final defeat. And Brazil with lots to think about and taking the early timeout.
Yeah, not surprised. They were slowly just starting to settle into the game, but those 2 goals in quick succession can really put off a team, and this is where a coach has to use these timeouts really wisely. And you know, with that 45 seconds to get those key messages across, coaches can play a huge role during the game. Boy, do Brazil need some key words from their coach at the moment.
They certainly do. And they do have a lot of talent on the bench. Might be maybe considering an early change just to try and stem this flow of Chinese goals. A very impressive start from China. Wang Chunyan, the goal scorer. Blocked by Vitorino. Brazil came 4th in both Rio and Tokyo. They'll desperately want to avoid another 4th position, and Brazil indeed shaping up to make a change. Vitorino coming off and Daniel Longini coming on. Player with a quite unique throwing style, it's fair to say.
Certainly does. Throw between the legs. No goals so far in Paris. Is this the moment for Vitorino, or Longini I should say, to make an impact? Just changing things up early, Brazil.
She's one of the few players in the world who does that between the legs throw. Something of a trademark of Brazilian sides, both men's and women's. Just presents an element of surprise. China have looked pretty comfortable so far. Lima with the straighter ball, blocked out by Xiao Shenhua. Because that ball went out in the Chinese third of court, it means China keep possession. Ball bounces off court, so it's going to be Brazil ball.
Ball needs to bounce for the players. That's for also the opposition as well, so they know which side of the court the ball has entered.
And an early throw from Longini, just arrived off the bench.
Love the crowd's reaction to that. Spectators who haven't seen that style of throw and taken aback by it.
Yeah, it can be hard to remain silent if you're in the crowd when you see a bit of ingenuity like that. Propelling herself off the frame of the goal, between the legs. Xiao Shenhua's throw blocked by the Brazilian centre. Wang Chunyan starts off court. Slightly slower ball gathered by Brito.
Players get really creative with how they do their run-ups. You can start off the court and enter, as long as it bounces twice.
Wang Chunyan trying to silently move across court and throws it from the high ball line. China looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Haven't really seen a significant Brazil chance. More or less halfway through this first half, China have looked very much the brighter.
China seem really comfortable, really nicely organised in defence, and that communication is proving crucial so far for China.
Longini, she was brought on to try and make a change. Hasn't yet had the desired impact. Wang Chunyan blocked by Brito. Xiao Shenhua. Looks like Katia Silva warming up for Brazil. Might be seeing her on court shortly.
Brito throwing for Brazil, that centre player, often the one that doesn't really get involved in the attacking side of play, but it's a really nice creative move. If you can pick up that ball in one motion, it's so hard to do. And it comes at you at speed, and you have to gather the ball in one motion and then throw the ball back, trying to catch out your opposition. A real skill.
Quick response from the Chinese centre. Rare throw from her, only her second of the game. Wang Chunyan. Oh, that ball really could go anywhere. Good covering defensive work from Manitha Lima.
Yeah, as a player, once that ball pops up into the air, it's sometimes really hard to hear those bells inside the ball. And normally for a player, their first instinct is to get back to the goal line, sweep up behind, and almost act as like a second barrier. Well defended.
Xiao Shenhua. Cross court, but well blocked. Lima advancing up court, gathered by Wang Chunyan. Between the legs throw, so brilliant to watch. This shot selection that makes goalball such an exciting sport. And you really do see all sorts. Slower balls, faster balls. See incredible spin and bounce. And even between the legs from Danielle Longini.
Defensive line for both of the teams. It isn't just straight. It's almost like a triangle. And that just covers off different angles and also creates like a second barrier. So if the centre player misses, they know that they've got their teammate who will be there to cover. Nice effort there.
Good effort from Wang Chunyan, blocked out by Longini at full stretch. I think that ball was heading right into the corner of the goal. Really hard to defend in that sweet spot, so good work from Longini. Lima throwing from a more central position. Blocked out, and Brazil yet to really have a threatening chance.
It just feels a bit predictable at the moment for Brazil. Wang Chunyan is getting through a lot of work on that right side. Can Brazil just switch things up a little bit here?
They've already made one substitution. Maybe we'll see a timeout before the end of this first half. Guinea cross court, but well wide, and China looking pretty untroubled at the moment. Ball bounces off court, so as soon as it bounces off court, that's the end of the move.
Kind of getting creative with the noise as well before the ball has been thrown. There's been some teams so far here in Paris that have either patted the court or sometimes even a bit of singing as well.
Guinea from the centre. Well gathered. Wang Chunyan. She was the difference between these two sides in the group stage. She's looking pretty impressive today. I think she'd be the first to admit she wasn't quite on top form in the semi-final. She's looked really impressive on court in this bronze medal match. Just 22 years of age, Wang Chunyan. Brito took a bit of a blow to the head, but ball still with Brazil.
Sometimes you do need a little bit of luck when that ball bounces up into the air. It can sometimes hit the back of your body and go back towards the goal. As in most sports, you always just need that little bit of luck.
Especially in knockout competition. In these medal matches, it can be very tight indeed. In fact, last time these two sides played a medal match, it took 2 periods of overtime to separate them. This time, China looking a bit more comfortable. Another rare throw from the Chinese centre. Just trying to add a bit of variety. China half-heartedly appealing for the penalty, but not given. Ball has to be bounced in in 2 out of the 3 thirds of the court, so both your own third and the neutral third. Can't bounce in your opponent's third, otherwise it's a one-on-one penalty.
Get the sense that the two teams are just starting to switch things up here. Longini's actually moving over to that right side of the court. It's getting a little bit predictable with Longyi being on that left side, even though she was going cross-court. Moving over to the right, just creating a different angle can cause a few different problems for China.
Lima. I love the kind of bang-bang noise that you hear Anna Brito making. She's such a colourful character.
You need these characters in the sport. Keep the game really exciting.
You'll hear players singing, banging the court, all kinds of different musical accompaniments. Means there's a wonderful soundtrack on court, even though the crowd not allowed to make any noise. And the final few throws of this first half. Lima's throw blocked, and China calling a timeout. Interesting tactical move there.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's just to get some information out with 6.8 seconds remaining. Time is really crucial when it comes to the end of the halves because teams only have the 10 seconds to return the ball. So 6.8 seconds. China are clever about this. They don't have to use up all the they have to try and use up as much seconds as possible to try and make sure that Brazil don't return the throw back.
It's incredible the kind of internal clock these players have. Quite rare to see a penalty for a 10-second violation.
Yeah, some teams actually count aloud, which is really interesting. And some players have learned multiple different languages.
They really are wonderful to listen to, these goalball games. Great array of sound. And that's half-time in the bronze medal match. And as things stand, Brazil will finish in 4th place for the 3rd consecutive Paralympic Games. A brilliant start from China. 2 goals, courtesy of Wang Chunyan and Xiao Zhenhua. And it's those 2 goals that are the difference between these 2 sides. The half-time score, People's Republic of China 2, Brazil 0.
We have seen great defense from both teams, and the score is People's Republic of China 2, Brazil 0.
I've been really impressed with certainly the defensive side of the game for China. I think they've been really compact. They've made it difficult for Brazil to really break down. And in fact, it's interesting watching Brazil of how they're having to get a little bit more creative. I mentioned about Longini moving across the court. You know, moving from the left to the right with that style of throw between the legs. Trying to put that all together is a really difficult skill. Really start to feel disorientated almost on the court.
Center.
And here we have the highlights of that first half. There's an early goal from China. Xiao Zhenhua found the gap perfectly.
Players will try and move in their run-up, so if you move left, you're trying to manipulate that defence to move left and maybe try and create a little bit of an opening as you go cross-court. It's amazing that just those small little margins can make such a massive difference.
And this was goal number 2 from Wang Chunyan. A different kind of throw, straight and direct. Sides change side, very quick half-time in goalball. And there we have the half-time score, 2 goals to 0, but no penalties, very impressive.
Absolutely, both teams very disciplined at the moment. I'm sure that's something that was talked about coming into the game. In the fine margins, if you give away a penalty, it can be really costly.
Half-time score, it's 2-0 that China lead. And they are just 12 minutes away from a place on the podium. Looks like Katia Silva's come onto court. Brazil changing things up. China, meanwhile, with the same 3 players that started the match on court. And we'll shortly hear official confirmation of any changes from the officials.
Second half of the game is between Brazil on my left, China on my right. Half-time score, Brazil 0, China 2. Half-time substitution, Brazil out number 5, in number 6.
So Manitha Lima has come off, trying something different with Katia Silva. She said before she discovered goalball, she felt like she was the only blind person in the universe. Said once she found the joy of goalball, she started dreaming once again. Here she is representing her country in this important match. China against Brazil, the second half of the bronze medal match. And what a start for China. Just as they started the first half brightly, they couldn't have asked for a better start to that second half.
Well, that had everything, all the ingredients of a beautiful throw. It fizzed across the court, right into the side netting. It's exactly what you practice. Those cross-court efforts right into the side of the goal. It was beautiful.
Brilliant work from Xiao Zhenhua. China have real attacking options. 2 of the top 3 scorers overall in the competition in the women's side are in that China side. And both of them are on the score sheet today. Silva, first throw from her. And she's given away a penalty. Not the start Katia Silva would have wanted.
Discipline really important. A long ball penalty at this point of the game is such a bad one to concede. It allows China to get so much momentum.
So penalties in goalball one-on-one. And it sends Katia-Silva the wrong way. And that's another goal for China. And China looking increasingly in command of this game.
From the centre point of the goal, it's hard to sometimes differentiate which way you're going to go. You just have to be confident in your throw and sure of that is the slot you want to put it in. And let the ball do the rest.
4-0, the China advantage. Not insurmountable, but pretty comfortable cushion. Brazil haven't really looked like scoring. They've made 2 changes, trying to mix things up.
It must be so frustrating as a coach. You've had those 3 minutes to really talk about a game plan, how you want to start the second half. And inside 20 seconds, you've conceded another 2 goals. Especially after the substitution as well, trying to switch things up. And your substitute conceding a long ball penalty with a first throw.
Bit of over-exuberance maybe from Katia-Silva, just arrived on court. Hadn't quite got into her rhythm. It was a costly penalty to give away. Longini. Ball blocked and given to Xiao Shenhua. Silva. A lot of bounce on that one. Gathered and cross court here from Wang Chunyan.
Movement there from Wang Chunyan was really nice. So confident around her team area.
That's another penalty. It's been called as another long ball. And Brazil's accuracy starting to suffer now.
Discipline is wavering for Brazil. I think they're just trying to force it too much now. They're 4-0 down, and this is almost the worst thing you can do is force it too much.
Wang Chunyan against Longini. Well, Longini gambled. She positioned herself on one side of the court. But Wang Chunyan went the other way, and it's 5-0 China.
Teams work so hard in preparation for penalty throws. Expertly placed. It gives so much confidence to a side when you know you have a player that can finish penalties off when you get those opportunities. But you're sure that you have a player in your squad who will take them.
Chunyan's been a very prolific penalty scorer across the tournament. Blocked by Brito. With Longini, who just conceded the penalty.
Problem is now for Brazil is they don't have a player who has been their leader in terms of goals, so they can't go to someone and go, get us back into this game, produce some magic. They're a very well organised team that work together well, but they don't have a player, for example, like Wang Chunyan, who you can give the ball to and go, get us a goal.
Yeah, Brazil goals very much distributed throughout the squad. And despite trying many different options today, hasn't quite come off for them. Still yet to score. Xiao Shenhua. And right back onto the goal line. Longini through the legs throw once again. But China seem to be intercepting it pretty well.
Timing of the blocks, really nice. Meeting the ball, being positive. If you can pull off that bouncing ball, it's really good because it just hangs in the air and it's so hard to hear those bells inside the ball. Such an effective move.
I think we might be about to see the end of the bouncing ball. Looks like Longini about to be replaced by Jessica Vitorino. Brazil shaping up to make the change. And Chunyan throwing right up to the high ball line. Well gathered. Longini goes straight. And China looking at such ease when they have the ball in possession and when they're facing these throws. Looking really, really comfortable.
Wang Chunyan, not only in attacking sense, but defensively, has been really, really solid. A lot of talk before the game about her scoring ability. But if you can add those two components together, scoring goals and sure in defence, what a player.
Some fantastic all-round players on court. Longini through the legs and gathered by Xiao Shenhua. Where is a Brazil goal going to come from? Tried almost all of their attacking options. None of them producing the desired impact. Longini's throw and a bit of danger there.
Yeah, going cross court. Got a few throws that was just straight. That's a really nice bouncing delivery.
Longini trying again. Seems to be Brazil's main attacking option, and the ball's bobbling around, but just about gathered by the Chinese trio.
Great communication from the China team. Have that sense as a player, if the ball is loose, then you all just gather on it.
And the referee reminding the crowd of the need to be quiet. They kind of let out a gasp of excitement when the ball was loose. It can be really distracting to these players. Xiao Shenhua, blocked by Longini, and the ball slowly goes out for Brazil ball.
With China in such a good position, they can dictate the tempo now of the game. They can really take the sting out of the match. Brazil might feel they want to push it a little bit more, sense of urgency. China in such a comfortable position, can control the clock.
Quick response from the Chinese centre. Getting a few throws to her name today. And a little slip from Katia Silva as she shapes up to throw. She conceded a penalty earlier on. Not the best start to her time on court, but she seems to have settled a bit now. Xiao Shenhua. Now Brazil making the change. And it is Longini to come off. The through the legs ball that's brightened up the past few minutes. There'll be no more as Longini comes off and Vitorino coming on. She's left-handed, Jessica Vitorino, so provides another element of difference and element of surprise.
Maybe exciting to watch, Longini, but she was actually starting to grow into it and really mix things up. But once that had passed, it's now time to change things up a little.
She hasn't yet scored a goal in this tournament, Danielle Longini, despite being on court for a few matches, so hasn't quite come together for her so far. She was very bright in the Para-Pan Am competition in Santiago last year. It hasn't quite come together for her in Paris. Officials weren't quite ready, so going to have another go. Vitorino. More entertaining noise on court. It's been a very lively game from a noise perspective.
Normally means when they're singing, they're just in perfect sync with each other.
Xiao Zhenhua cross court, gathered by Vitorino, back on court after a few minutes of rest. Goes from the centre. Oh, the ball bouncing around, ended up off the head of Xiao Zhenhua. Ball weighs about 1.25 kilograms, so not the nicest thing to get on your head, but did the job. And now Brazil call a timeout and have to wonder what options Brazil have left at their disposal now.
Yeah, they've tried to create different opportunities, they've made the substitutions, they've moved around court, but China defensively so solid. They've worked really well with each other, and they've not decided obviously to bring on any substitutions. They're really happy with how the team are performing. And what's so impressive for me is that you've got players like Wang Chuanyang and Xiao Zhenhua, who are both high up in the scoring charts, but for me, their most impressive part of the game so far is how well they've handled the defensive side. They've not let the team down.
Have to be an all-rounder in goalball, especially if you play on the wing. Strong in attack as well as defence. And Brazil about to make another change. Giovanna Moura coming on, replacing Gabriela Brito, who's been noisy in the centre of court. She's going to be replaced by Giovanna Moura. She wasn't able to play in Tokyo due to the birth of her daughter. She's in the squad in Paris and a great chance to show what she can do. And we'd expect that to be a like-for-like substitution. Moura shaping up in centre of court. It feels like Brazil just throwing everything at it now, trying all the options they can.
Moura has scored here at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, so you've got three players out on the court who are comfortable in throwing the ball.
And Brazil now have three attacking options on court. And although Moura is taking to court in the centre, expect to see her launching a few throws. Wang Chunyan, blocked by Vitorino. Silva. Straighter ball, but once again, well dealt with. Got an equipment check now. Let's see what the cause of the disruption is. It's a rogue shoelace from Jessica Vitorino, and the pace these players run at, you certainly don't want your shoelace to be untied.
And that's where the role of the referee is really important. It's not just calling the long balls and the high balls, but the safety of the players. That makes a really good referee. All-round view of the game.
And there are a few hazards in the game of goalball. Courts get slippery and shoelaces become untied, and certainly a very physical and energetic sport. Xiao Zhenhua, fingertip save from Vitorino. Moura, freshly arrived on court. Brazil really relying on her to try and change things up. Silva's throw, slammed into court, and it's another penalty conceded by Katja Silva.
China have been really impressive. You know, they've not tried to force it themselves. They've just waited for the mistakes from Brazil, And they're getting the opportunities.
So Silva conceded, so she will have to defend this penalty. She positions herself on the side of court. And she goes the wrong way. And it's another successful penalty for Wang Chunyan. And China starting to run away with this bronze medal match.
Certainly are. A stylish throw. Running down the centre and then having that option, you could either go right or left. Makes it really hard. The run-up is almost as important as the direction you throw in. Very good at that, Wang Chunyan.
And unfortunate for Katja Silva because she was in the right part of court, but dived out the way of the ball. That penalty was a long ball, so the ball has to bounce in both your own area of court and the neutral area of court. And because Katja Silva threw the ball a bit too exuberantly, bounced in the Chinese area of court, so that's a long ball penalty. Xiao Zhenhua goes cross court, blocked by Vitorino. China, meanwhile, showed fantastic accuracy in their throwing. Yet to concede a penalty. All landing in all the required areas of court. Wang Chunyan directly at Jessica Vitorino. She tries from the other side of court, but China once again holding firm. Ball slowly rolls off court and China will be happy to eat up as many seconds as they can as they look to close out this game.
Time management really important now for China. You have to force this. Sense of urgency now for Brazil, and China will just take the sting out of the game. Use the frame of the goal, just position themselves, take each throw as it comes.
And now Brazil take the timeout. I think they know this bronze medal match might be beyond them. And they're going to have their third consecutive fourth place finish in the Paralympic Games. China, such an impressive display from them.
Absolutely, and Brazil conceding those penalties in the second half haven't helped themselves. Giving opportunities to China. When there's a player like Wang Chunyan in your ranks who can finish off penalties with ease, it makes it difficult to come back from.
Vitorino goes for the corner, but comfortably blocked by Xiao Zhenhua. She's looked fantastic in defence as well as attack. Silva's throw blocked out. I'm sure we'll see China starting to take as many of their 10 allowed seconds as they can before they get these throws away. Vitorino's throw gathered by Wang Chunyan. Trying from a different side of court. Brazil now looking for a consolation goal. Won't want to end their Paris 2024 competition not scoring a goal in this bronze medal match, especially when they have so many good attacking options on court. Brazil shaping up to make a final change, and we might now see both sides looking to bring on some players who haven't had much court time. The result surely beyond doubt. Chance to give some experience to players who haven't played much. Make sure everyone gets their time on court.
If you can give those opportunities to those players, learning that you can get, even if it's just a minute, just to settle into a big occasion, playing at the Paralympic Games. You take that forward to playing at the World Championships, championships across, regional championships across the world. It can make such a huge difference.
So Manitha Lima coming onto court. Katja Silva coming off, and she's had a difficult time on court. Katja Silva conceding quite a few penalties. And Lima coming back on. She is one of Brazil's main offensive options. And as Brazil chase a goal to get themselves on the score sheet, they're going for Lima, one of their strongest attacking options.
It was the option that Tosim had to really take now, to bring Lima onto the court. Hasn't really worked with Katja Silva, mentioning those penalties that she conceded straight away with her first throw, to then have to rebuild that confidence in such a high-stakes match. Really difficult.
Last minute of this bronze medal match. Now it's China's turn to make a change. KP Ying of China coming on. And that is the first time she's come onto courts in the Paris 2024 Games. So with the bronze medal secure, bringing on KP Ying. Get some court time and some experience of big international competitions. And this experience that she can take forward into future tournaments. And a great opportunity for her.
Absolutely. She began playing the sport at 17 years of age, so to have that opportunity now to play on the big stage, a moment she would have dreamt of. And absolutely the experience you'll gain just from a minute, and a minute in goalball can last a lifetime. And to play with some experienced players and be part of the team as well. To enjoy that winning moment.
And it will be a big moment for China. They missed out on a medal in Tokyo. In fact, they were knocked out of the competition by Brazil. And now they've returned the favour, beating Brazil in this important match and giving themselves the bronze medal. They had a run of 3 consecutive silvers, 2008, 2012, 2016. They were devastated to have missed out in Tokyo, and that medal-winning run continues in Paris. It's the final throws of this bronze medal match. And China preparing to celebrate. And the bronze medal goes to China. A commanding performance from them. And they now have returned to their medal-winning form. Medals in 2008, 2012, 2016, and now 2024. They are a real force in women's goalball. And a fantastic performance for them, but for Brazil, it's third time unlucky, 3 consecutive 4th place finishes. And we've witnessed a real masterclass from China today.
Thoroughly deserved for China.
And Jessica Vitorino getting some attention on court, but it looks like she's up and moving. And China celebrating. Fantastic victory for them.
An all-round brilliant performance, both sides of the game, attacking and defensively. They got the big moments right. Mixed up their throwing styles. Defensively as a unit were really, really impressive. worked so well. And the difference, though, for me between the two teams was having someone like Wang Junyan who scores goals. It's someone you can almost just give the ball to and go, get us a goal, get us some momentum. And that, for me, is the key difference between China and Brazil. Brazil just didn't have those players who could score 2 or 3 goals quickly.
And China celebrates this important bronze medal. And Brazil, well, it's good to see Vitorino up and on her feet, and it's been a difficult match for Brazil, but they will live to fight again, and with LA in 4 years' time, they will be contenders once again at the Paralympic Games. But 3 fourth-place finishes in 3 games, that is hard to take, but lots they can learn from after this bronze medal match. And after such a hard-fought and emotional match, the two sides embrace and celebrate and commiserate with one another. And in the end, it was China that was just too strong, and they rightfully take the plaudits from the South Paris arena. And this crowd have witnessed something very special. The China side in great form. And that's the end of the competition for Brazil. But they've got lots they can be proud of and lots to take forward.
They certainly can, and they'll be thinking about LA and what they can just slightly improve to elevate themselves from that 4th spot to that podium position, which they're desperate to achieve. There are certainly some really big positives to take away for Brazil. The key thing will be trying to get players like Longini, still 23 years old, and with that unique throwing style, to try and use that to their advantage. I'm sure if they can qualify for LA, it will be a huge part of that.
Such emotion amongst that Chinese side. Xu Miao, the Chinese centre, who's been rock solid all tournament, in floods of tears. And the final score in this bronze medal match: People's Republic of China 6, Brazil 0.
5:45 p.m. followed by the men's gold medal match between Ukraine and Japan. At 7:30 p.m. there will be a victory ceremony for both the women and men following a competition.
And that is the story of this bronze medal match. Very much one-way traffic. And the scoreline and the penalties, the main difference between these two sides.
Yeah, the penalties that Brazil conceded just meant that Brazil had no real chance of getting back into this game.
And accuracy so important, especially in these medal matches. And there we have confirmation. The bronze medal, the People's Republic of China. Got a fantastic gold medal game still to come.
Allez, on va revivre ensemble les meilleurs moments de ce match pour la médaille de bronze, c'est sur les écrans géants.
Please direct your attention.
Well, a brilliant pair of bronze medal matches, both the men's and the women's event. And in this women's match, it was China that come out on top, winning by 6-0. This crowd at the South Paris Arena have witnessed a fantastic pair of bronze medal matches. And there's still plenty more to come with the gold matches on this final day. Whether it's goalball or the many other sports in this Paris 2024 programme, we hope you'll enjoy more on this final day. And thank you very much for joining us at Paris 2024.
Le comité d'organisation de Paris 2024 tient à remercier tous les volontaires pour le temps et le dévouement qu'ils consacrent à la réussite de ces Jeux paralympiques. Merci beaucoup, vous pouvez les applaudir.
The Paris 2024 organizing committee would like to thank all volunteers for their time and dedication toward making the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games a success. Please take care exiting from the venue, and remember, Paris 2024 staff are here to help should you require any assistance.